Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Mocha Moments. Well, um, it's that time again, and quite naturally, I'm going to wait until you all begin to log on or hook up with us. Those of you that are popping in as you're coming in, um, quite naturally, I ask that you would type something. Good evening, Marcus. Hope everything is well with you. As you're coming in, please type a greeting in the comment box and don't forget to put that hashtag Mocha Crew. Good evening, Tisha. Word up. How you be this evening? Hope everything is well with you. Giving people time. You all are starting to pop in. Joyce Lee, good evening to you. A special good evening to you, Joyce. Joyce, you must haven't gotten the memo yet. I know you want to be a part of our Mocha Crew community, so I just asked you would throw in the hashtag Mocha Crew, throw that up in the comments, so you let me know that you're with our new community called the Mocha Crew. Lucy, Brittany, Lachelle, Jackie, Antone, Vera. Good evening to all of you, and thank you once again for throwing up that hashtag. For those of you that may be joining us for the very first time, please put up a greeting in the comment and let me know where you're viewing from, what part of town here in Kansas City, or if you're viewing from another state, another city, please let me know where you're viewing from. And particularly if you are a first-time viewer, I want to welcome you to our Mocha Moments community. Yeah. You all are still coming in. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. There we go. Thank you, Joyce. Appreciate that. Marcus, 25th in Truth. Hey, let me pause right here. Lady Ann just popped in. Good evening, love of my life. Hey. Jackie, you're joining us from Grandview, Missouri. Toya, good evening. What's going on? I expect a whole lot of good comments out of you tonight. Toya is one of my wonderful commenters. She always has something interesting to post there in the comments. And kind of helps to get me going a little bit. So thank you for joining us. Now, those of you that are joining us for the very first time, let me lay down our expectations real quick. We welcome you, and I want you. I am requiring that you be a participant in our discussions whenever we're on. I just ask that you would be respectful to the host and to the other people that are making comments while we're having our discussion. But I certainly welcome your comments, and I try to watch the board so that if I see something, somebody put up a comment that's very, very interesting, that connects with me, that's very germane to our discussion, then I certainly will try to make mention of it or even throw it up on the screen so others can see what you're sharing with us. Thank you so much once again for joining us. I'm going to give people just a few more minutes to get logged on here tonight. That reminds me, if you have not turned on your notifications, if you don't have your notifications on, please make sure that you turn on the notifications so that every time I come on, you'll be notified immediately. And I hope that when you receive that notification, that you will log on, connect with us immediately once you receive that notification. And again, I ask that as you come on, please just throw me up a greeting in the comment. I just love to know who I'm talking to, and I love interacting with my viewing audience. So if you'd be so kind to do so, that would greatly benefit me as I'm sharing with you here on tonight. Tracy, good evening to you. Thank you once again for joining us, part of our Mocha Crew. And thank you, Tisha, for reminding me to make sure to tell you that it's important that you share with other people. That's what our Mocha Crew is all about. That's what our community is all about. Good evening, Cassandra, player hater. Good evening to you. God bless you. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Let me just once again also state that um, a lot of people know who I am in terms of being a pastor, a preacher, a teacher, but I'm also a life coach. I'm a trainer. I'm a consultant. Um, and that's what this platform here tonight is all about. It's about being able to coach people, share words of wisdom. Matter of fact, what we do is share practical wisdom for daily living. You know, I try to share some things that will help you to navigate through life because we're always being challenged with one thing or another. And it takes great wisdom to navigate through some of the things that we are challenged with on a day-to-day basis. Denise, God bless you. Thank you for joining us tonight. I will say this, that although I'm not preaching, this is not a preaching platform by any means. I will say this though, that the wisdom that I share with you is so often biblically based. Because I don't apologize for who I am. I'm a born again believer. I am a Christian. I am a pastor. I am a preacher. And I am very true to who I am outside as well as inside of the church. All right. So if you hear some biblical things start to roll out, as we're going through discussion, I hope you don't get offended or anything of that nature. But I just want to let you know in advance who I am and what I do. I do what I do because of who I am. Brother Ron, Minister Vonda, God bless you all. Thank you for joining us. And thank you once again for throwing up that hashtag Mocha Crew. All right. Let me start. I want to talk about or talk from this particular topic, and I hope you will be just as engaging as you always are. But I want to talk about this particular subject matter. Handle your business. Let people know that you work for fee and not for free. Yeah, that's my word of advice to you tonight. And that can apply to anybody. It can apply to leaders. It can apply to workers. It can apply to pastors. It can apply to just ordinary people. Good evening, Terry Kazan. Thank you for joining us. Stephanie Adams, good evening to you. If you're part of our Mocha community already, throw that hashtag up, Mocha Crew, hashtag Mocha Crew. If you have not yet joined our Mocha community and you want to become a part of our Mocha community, throw that hashtag up, Mocha Crew, hashtag Mocha Crew. What is the Mocha Crew community all about? We're people who believe in doing whatever we can to add value to other people. We believe in doing whatever we can to add value to other people. That's my primary objective for sharing with you whenever I come on. I want to be able to share something with you that is going to add value to you, that's going to enhance your life. Hopefully, I can give you some information that will tell you how to deal with certain situations, how to navigate through both sensitive and tricky situations. All of us go through things like that in life. And so every now and then you just need a word of wisdom that will help you to get through that period that you're going through, to face whatever challenges you might be facing, and how to overcome whatever challenges that you might be faced with. Again, handle your business. Let people know. Let people know that you work for fee and not for free. I mean, think about it. I often ask myself the question, why are some people always trying to get the hookup? Yeah, that's a good question. Then why are people always trying to get the hookup? Good evening, Kathy. Why is it when people know you have a business selling a product or providing a service that they think that they are entitled to get what you have to offer at a deeply discounted rate. Why is that? It blows me away. And you know, when they start asking for the hookup or requesting a deep discounted rate, they start pulling out and playing these cards on you. One of the first cards they play is "We Family" card, or the "We Go Back a Long Way" card. We've been friends forever. You know how long I've been knowing you, and you ain't gonna hook a brother up. You're not gonna hook a sister up. You know, why do we come to each other and are always requesting that we be given things for little to nothing? You know why people do that often? It's because, number one, they take you for granted. You know, it amazes me how people like that, they hardly ever go into any other places asking or requesting a hookup or to have what they're trying to purchase to be deeply discounted. Now please understand, there's a difference between negotiating a price on a particular item that you may be buying or whatever. But when you go into every situation, especially people that you are familiar with, that you've known for quite some time, or even people that you've been related to, and you expect them to always give you the hookup, you know, that's not good. And again, people do that because they take you for granted. Secondly, they likely devalue your product or your services. They don't believe that what you are offering and the price that you placed on what you're offering is worth it. And that's okay. It's fine for people to have that opinion. If they don't feel like your product or your service is not worth them expending or spending their monies to obtain what you have to offer, that's fine, because what you're selling or what you have to offer is not necessarily uh, for everybody. Tracy said, yeah. Well, let me start with Toya's comment. She said, haggling family is wild, though. Yeah, it's wild. And it's frustrating for the family member who's trying to run a business to have other family members constantly approaching them, asking them to give away their product or their services for little or nothing. Tracy says here, but we'll pay somebody else whatever their price is without question. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, it goes back to what I said just a minute ago. They do that because they take you for granted. And then they do that because they devalue your product or your services. Now, it's good enough for them to want it, but it's not good enough for them to pay premium price for it. See, another problem that's going on here in this kind of situation is people who are like that, they have no regard for what it costs you to be in business to provide the products and services that you provide. They have no regard. They don't care. You know why? Because they're not the ones who's having to spend. They're not having to make the sacrifice. They're not the ones that have had to go through all the things that you had to go through to get this business up and running, to secure whatever products that you're going to be selling, to go through the pains of getting the training that you need in order to provide the services you intend to provide. Since they are not with you on that journey, then they have little to no regard to what or for what it has cost you to even now be able to offer what you're offering. Jackie, I agree. They are takers and not givers. Anybody know anybody like that? Does anybody come to mind? I'm just wondering, how many business owners do we have on the line tonight? How many business owners? If you're a business owner tonight, uh, throw something up in there, put a hand raised or whatever, that emoji or something, throw that in there. Just let me know if you have a business. Okay, Tara Kazam, yeah, we know about your business. Vera says they have caviar taste with beer money. Yeah. And they expect you to price your caviar on the beer level. That's an interesting analogy. Vera says her and her husband have a business. Vonda, yes, she has a business. All right. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else that have businesses? So you know what I'm talking about. You've been in that position, I'm quite sure. And if you haven't, just stay in business a little while longer. If you're in business any length of time, you'll have that experience where somebody will finally tell you that they don't feel like they should have to pay the price that you placed on your goods or services. And it's okay. It's okay for people not to want to pay, but it's okay for you not to sell them your product or offer to them your services. Uh, Listen, I've had people um, since I've become a ICF, International Coaching Federation certified coach. Now that may not mean anything to some of you, but it means a whole lot to me. And those people who legitimately work in the life coaching field or the coaching field or arena, period, they understand the value of being ICF certified. I'm internationally certified. That's what ICF stands for, International Coaching Federation. I am a part of that federation. And I went through some painstaking hours of study. I had to take more than 3-hour test in order to qualify to be certified by the ICF organization. So I've gone through some things. I've gone through a process to get to where I am. I've earned the right to put myself out there as a life coach. And I've also earned the right to command a certain fee for my services. I had to pay for my education. I had to pay for my certification. I had to pay even for the exam I took in order to become certified. It has cost me something. But you know what? I've had people to tell me that they hear me talk so much and they've listened to me so much that they said, why should I hire you to coach me when I'm receiving coaching for free? Well, yeah, you may be receiving some elements of coaching, but you're not getting the full element, the full aspect, the full benefits of engaging a life coach. But my point is, again, is this: people feel like that they shouldn't have to pay for certain things, especially if they know you or are related to you. Listen, despite how people may feel, what they may think, what they may say, despite all that, it's imperative that you not cheat yourself in an attempt to appease people or to gain a client. Listen, lowering your standards with regards to offering your services and your business or your product rather, lowering your standards, lowering your fees does not necessarily work in your favor. Why is that? Because when you do that, when you deeply discount what you have to offer just for the sake of gaining a potential client, you are thereby devaluing your own products and services. When you lower that price, when you lower that fee just to meet somebody else's expectations, you're affirming or confirming what they're already thinking, and that is you're not worth it. But let me tell you, you should never get into the habit of lowering the value of what you have to offer in an attempt to make other people feel better about you. How about this? Sometimes it's okay to tell people that maybe you can't afford me. Maybe you cannot afford my products or my services. It's okay to tell people that. And if they walk away saying, well, no, I'm not going to pay that, they were never your client to begin with. They weren't even your potential client. What you've allowed to walk away from you is a potential leech. Because here's what I've discovered about some people. Yeah, if you give them the hookup, they'll be happy in the moment, but then they're going to come back and look for the hookup all over again. Well, you didn't charge me that last time. And despite the fact that you might tell them, well, I gave you the hookup last time. I discounted my product or service for you last time, but this time I'm expecting you to pay full price because this is what my product or my service is worth. The price is still the price and still the same today. That's what you should stay. And that's what you should stand on. That's exactly how we should be. We shouldn't be people who are prone to accommodate freeloaders or leeches. And I talked about those leeches even last night, bloodsuckers. You know, I talked about them in the form of politics, but same thing. People who want to suck the life and the vitality out of you, drain you, take everything from you, and then walk off and leave you and will never patronize you ever again. And with some people, even though you may give them the hookup or a discount, if it's not what they really wanted, they'll take what you have and then walk away and talk about you. They won't give you any endorsements. They won't bother to share what type of goods and services that you provided to other people, even if it's on the highest level of excellence, because they didn't get out of it what they wanted out of it at the price that they wanted to get it out of you. Then they'd rather speak ill of you instead of speaking well of you and sharing with other people their wonderful experience. I've heard people say stuff like, well, yeah, what they have to offer, yeah, it's good, it's real good, but they just charge too much. Is it really a matter of them charging too much, or is it just more than what you are willing or want to pay? And here's what I found out about a lot of people in these type of situations. A lot of people, it's not a matter of them not being able to afford what you're offering. It's just more a matter of them not being willing to pay what you have to offer. And as someone stated earlier, but you'll pay other people that you don't know whatever they're asking you for. And here's what's sad. Some of what you're paying more money for, especially from a stranger, is not as good as what you could be purchasing from the person that is close to you. But you want to protest, you want to boycott. I shouldn't say you. I should say people. I should say people because I'm not saying that about y'all. Y'all forgive me. I didn't mean to frame that in a way where it seemed like I'm talking about you. But y'all know what I'm talking about. How people do other people that are in business, especially if they have some type of personal relationship with that individual. Y'all feel me? Are we good right there? Okay. So again, like I stated a minute ago, you shouldn't try to appease people. Don't do things to try to make people feel better about you. Sometimes we've got to be resolved with just being who we are and having the attitude that they can either take you or leave you. It's totally up to them. Some people might say, well, that's arrogance. No, that's not arrogance. That's reasonable. Nobody wants to expend a lot of time and energy trying to force themselves on anybody. And then you should never let people even feel like that if they don't patronize you, that your business is going to collapse. You got to let people know that you're going to be successful in business, whether they patronize you or not. Because that's just how good you are. And if you handle your business and handle it well, somebody is going to appreciate what you have to offer. And they will patronize you on a consistent basis. Toya says, especially when it comes to Black business. Okay, yeah. I could kind of lay in on that for a little while because that's an issue that we have as well. Pay the appropriate price and tip well is what I practice. That's a good practice right there, Terry. Yeah, tip well. Pay the price and tip. Pay the price and tip. But let me touch back on this Black business thing because we have to admit as a people, we struggle in that area. We struggle with trusting one another with regards to believing that the Black business person is going to provide you excellent business at the highest level, excellent services, I should say, or an excellent product at the highest level. And once again, we've got that thing wherein some of us won't patronize certain people and certain businesses because we are determined not to have any part in helping that person to become rich. I really don't understand that attitude that we have toward one another. Now, we're running out here and we're making these corporations, these other businesses that are headed by CEOs of other ethnicities. And we're okay with it. We think nothing of it. We want their product. We want their services. We don't care that we're helping the CEOs and everybody on the corporate board or whatever, or who's at the top of the company, the president and all that. We don't care that we're helping to make them rich. As a matter of fact, the more we patronize those strangers, we really uh, cause their pockets to puff out because some of their bonuses for 1 year are more than some of us will ever make in a lifetime. Some of them are more than 10 of us together would make in a lifetime. But yet and still, we'd rather withhold our monies and not patronize our own, but we'll make other people that we don't know, we'll help to make them rich. I mean, I may be getting a little bit off course here in this discussion, but it just kind of brings to mind some of my experiences that I've had. Lady Ann and myself have been involved in several different network marketing ventures. And, a lot of times in network marketing, you have to kind of build your team. And oftentimes you try to build your team within your circles of influence. And if it's happened to us once, it's happened to us at least 7 or 8 times, wherein we could get something going and start to build our team. And the moment somebody within the team feels like that we are making $2 more than they are, even though we were the ones responsible for bringing them into the network marketing, bringing them onto the team, they get jealous and they start doing everything they can to sabotage the system. Kendra said, if it's a good product, it will sell. That's absolutely right. And if you've identified a good product and a good service, don't let finding out that the owners are Black cause you to stop patronizing that business. But then those of you that are business owners, don't cheapen or devalue your goods and services just because you want to feel like you're in good with your people. Whenever you get through, it really shouldn't matter what color people you're serving, so long as the money you're earning is green. But you do have to draw the line and make it well known with your family and your friends, and even now your associates, that you don't work for free, you work for fee. You work for fee, not for free. You've got to always continuously place the highest value on your goods and services. But at the same token, I also want to advise you that if you're going to place the highest value for your goods and services, make sure that they're getting goods and services that they can actually see the value in. Don't settle for anything less than excellence. And then, as you handle your business, be consistent in doing so. Let people know what they're getting at any given time. If a mistake is made, own it and then correct it. That's what good business people do. And I'm telling you, if you will not only keep the people you're serving in mind, but if you consistently have the right perspective on who you are and what you have to offer, and you can keep your value set based on those things, then I guarantee you, you won't have any problem with running your business and your business thereby being a profitable business. But you got to let people know that it costs you to be in business. That's the reason why you have to handle your business the way you've got to handle it. Listen, you cannot do business of any kind without having a cost attached to it. Listen, your business will cost you time, energy, and money. When it comes to time, if you don't value your time, neither will others. Now, I had to find that out the hard way. Thank you, Toya. She says, right, set a high standard for yourself and your product/business and stand behind what it's worth. TR Renee, she says, work for fee, not for free. I like that. Yep. I like it too. When that thing leaped up in my spirit, yes. I love it. I love it. Once again, with time, if you don't value your time, neither will others. When it comes to your energy, your level of energy ultimately determines your level of productivity. If you've got one leech, one bloodsucker that's draining you of all of your energy, then you won't have enough energy to be consistently productive. You got one person that's pulling on you constantly, one person that's always wanting to hook up, one person that wants the deep discount, one person that wants the goods and the services for free. And if you give all your attention to that person or that small group of people, because sometimes that's what it is, you know, if you give all of your energy to them and you're drained to wherein you can't provide goods or services to anyone else, that's going to lower your level of productivity. I mean, think about that. If you're in business, it's going to cost you energy. It's going to cost you physical energy. It's going to cost you mental energy. It's going to cost you emotional energy. And it'll even cost you spiritual energy. It takes a lot to be in business. Yeah, you've got to be able to maintain a balance. You got to be able at times to keep your cool. You got to be able to stand firm on your convictions. You got to be able to say no when no is the appropriate response. You got to be able to turn some people down and turn them away. How many of you have heard this phrase that all money is not good money? Sometimes you have to let people go on their way and miss whatever few nickels that they have to offer you in order to have a consistent perception of who you are and what your business is really all about. Man, I'm telling you, you let people sap you of all your mental energy, you won't be that effective in business. If you let people sap you of all of your emotional energy, you won't be that effective in business. Those people that come around you and they only have negative things to say to you or about you, you charge too much. Your stuff ain't all that. I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't hire you. Man, don't even waste your time even responding to them. If you say anything, say, okay, thank you for letting me know where you stand. I'm not that desperate to serve you anyway. And keep it moving. Kathy Jones says you also have to manage people's expectations. Wow, that's a thought. Because sometimes people expect way too much out of you. That's what she's talking about. And sometimes you just have to plainly let it be known. No, you can't expect that out of me. That's not what I do. It's not what I provide. Now, let me be clear about something though before we close out this conversation here. I'm not by any means saying that there never comes a time where you become a bit compassionate and even now charitable with some people, especially if you know their situation and they may be in need of your goods and services, but they really cannot afford to pay you or compensate you for your goods or services. I'm not saying that you should never follow your heart and never open up your bowels of compassion for people. I'm not saying that, but you got to use wisdom when doing so. You got to know when some people are just conning you. And then ultimately, sometimes you have to let it be known rather, that you are not a charitable organization. You are in business to make a profit. And you can't make a profit by giving away everything. Not in a typical business. You cannot make a profit giving away everything. Again, your business will cost you time, it will cost you energy, but then lastly, it'll cost you money. Money most often has to be earned. And you've got to expend your time and energy in order to earn money. That's the price you're having to pay. Anyone in business or doing business must invest time, energy, and money to run a business. Since it is inevitable that you will have to make such investments, why shouldn't you require those to whom you provide a product or service to share the costs of your investment? Anybody that goes into business, anyone who invests into providing goods and services, they are looking for and expecting at some point to have ROI. And that simply means return on investment. Handle your business. If you're in business, handle your business. People choose not to patronize you, their loss, not yours. You want people to patronize your business who will appreciate your product and services and who won't hesitate to share what they have benefited from patronizing you. They'll share it with someone else. That's the kind of people you want. You want people who will appreciate you and spread the word with others that you have goods and services that are worth securing. How about that? Was that all right for y'all tonight? I think that's all I got. I hope that you've been tremendously blessed. I hope I've added some value to you. I hope I've given you a different perspective on doing business. I hope this has caused you to have a greater respect for people who are in business, you know, and that you won't have unreasonable expectations of people when you're trying to secure their goods and services. And while I'm there, if any of you are looking for a good life coach, I'm your man. Go to my website, shepherd at the shepherd1.com. Shepherd, or no, I'm sorry, it's the shepherd1.com. The shepherd1.com, and one is spelled out ONE. I gave you all my email address a minute ago, shepherd at the shepherd1.com. Go to my website. You can go there, and if you want to engage my services, I work for fee, not for free. I handle my business, and I encourage you to do the same. You better know I'm going to charge, and yes, you better know I am. My time is valuable. If you don't believe me, ask Lady Ann. She'll tell you my time is valuable, because any time I spend with a client, that takes time away from her. How about that? Thank you once again, Tisha, for reminding me. Just want to remind you that my book is available. I'm not just a pastor. I'm a person. If you haven't secured your copy yet, you need to secure your copy. We'll have more available coming this Sunday at the church. So if you want to pick up your copy at church this Sunday, you're more than welcome to do so. They can also be purchased through my website. You can go to my website and purchase my book. Yeah, they're available on Amazon as well. But I'd greatly appreciate it if you would purchase them through my website. I'm just going to be honest with you all. When you purchase them through Amazon keeps more of my money than I receive. Okay. But when you purchase them through my website, I'm able to keep more of the profit on my product. All right. And it's a good product. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product. I know you will tremendously enjoy reading that book, or at least you'll be enlightened. You know, even if you don't enjoy it, you will be enlightened. All right. God bless you. Look forward to connecting with you on tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to say God bless and good night.